Okay, so apparently 17 million accounts got hacked on Instagram, and maybe you received a bit of a password reset. So, yeah, that's apparently been the big news as of late for some reason, at least in the tech world. And if you go look up any articles about it, it'll say here Instagram password reset attacks. What you need to know and do now. Getting unwanted Instagram password reset emails? Don't click those links. And here's another one. Instagram data breach exposes 17 million accounts worldwide. And so, before anything, what I have to mention to you guys, okay, I'm going to mention to you is that, especially with articles, I know people talk about clickbait on YouTube and stuff, but remember, articles are also trying to clickbait you so you can read them. Because I mean, imagine it was just like, um, imagine it wasn't worded like, "Oh, what you need to know and do now." It's like, there's no need to be alarmed, okay? And so naturally, I actually went to investigate my own Instagram account, even though it doesn't have any followers on it, and it's a private account, and there's not really much to expect from it. I decided to, take a little peek. And so I did not get an email about anything about that, which is kind of interesting because, like, sometimes you expect to be getting emails from that. So I didn't get an email about no breach or no password change. But, if you are really that paranoid about your passwords, go and change them right now. And you can go and, get a strong password because at the end of the day, most of the breaches that happen are, of course, do stuff like that. Or, say you do get an email reset or a password like that, be aware of what phishing scams are, because the key trick about phishing is that here's how it works. Basically, a phisher is going to try to get you to be as urgent as possible. And so, in your urgency, you're going to haste, be like, oh, I got to get my bank account, I got to get my information, I got to change the password, blah, blah, blah. But once you sit down and analyze certain things, for example, you can hover a hyperlink, which is very helpful. You will see, oh, this isn't spelled properly because, of course, they can't take the Instagram domain. Or maybe they can, I don't know, or maybe they might spell it differently. I don't know. Phishers, they get kind of creative nowadays, but remember that. So keep that in mind every time you hear something like that. But anyways, everybody's been talking about this whole Instagram breach, okay, has been going on. And so our most recent update about it now is actually Instagram has denied a breach occurring. And to understand sometimes how these work is that most of the time in most systems, especially in stuff like Meta, where they have so much information, there's usually a lot of, I don't say safeguards, but you'll definitely be informed if you need to change a password, and they need to tell you, like, oh, a breach just occurred, like legally speaking. But with pardons and stuff these days, who knows how that works. But anyways, so yeah, here we are now. So here I have Instagram denies breach after many receive emails asking to reset password. So it says here, no breach. The password reset emails coupled with the Malwarebytes warning has prompted confusion for thousands of people on social media. And Instagram's explanation also posed questions. We fixed an issue that let an external party request password reset emails for some people. The company said there was no breach of our systems, but Instagram did not respond to the BBC's questions about who the external party was, which could send out legitimate password reset requests on behalf of the firm. The emails caused concern for some users on social media who feared it was a scam or phishing attempt designed to glean more of their details. But the links in the email do not appear to be malicious, and the password reset process a user is guided through appeared to be legitimate. However, the advice as ever is to go straight to the website or app to make changes to passwords and add extra protection. Instagram has denied it has been a victim to a data breach after many users received emails prompting them to reset their password. The firm said it had unresolved a problem, which allowed an external party. Whoa. Sorry, I got a bit of a moment. Instagram said that there's a complete but some experts have questioned the statement, with cybersecurity firm Malwarebytes claiming the password reset emails had, in fact, been sent as a result of a hack. Cybercriminals stole the sensitive information of 17.5 million Instagram accounts, including usernames, physical addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and more, it claimed in a post on X, along with a screenshot of a password reset from Instagram. No further details given by the company, but the post has been viewed more than 2.3 million times. Malwarebytes told the BBC it believed the password reset emails were a direct result of an ongoing sale of private data on a hacker forum, where a criminal claimed to have personal details of 17.5 million Instagram users. The editor claims that the data leak data comes from a leak in 2024. Man, I can't read. But some security researchers think it is actually an old database that was gathered from data which could be publicly viewed as such names and locations in 2022. Whew, that was quite a mouthful, but yeah, so that's basically what's been going on as of late. So naturally, when I hear about, a criminal or something, let's go take a look in some very interesting places. Now, unfortunately, I cannot tell you where this place is, as that would be, illegal. However, I can show you this, which is pretty interesting, that I found while taking a look. Because naturally, whenever somebody claims they have a lot of information, I want to know where it's coming from. So naturally, let's take a peek and see what's going on here. So what I have for you is this little bit of a forum over here. And so on this person has alleged that Instagram's 17 million global users 2024 leak usernames, emails, phones, and IDs. Now, let's preface something here. First of all, it says this is from 2024. If you were the more student, you must have already noticed that by now. And so if we actually go on here, we can literally see this was posted around the 7th of January, and so 9:48 p.m. So around that time, you have here target is Instagram.com. You have the type, which is a social profile leak, JSON text, records 1700 plus. Data is usernames, full names, user IDs, emails, phone numbers, countries, partial locations, and that year was in 2024. And of course, they have samples from the file, which, has some examples of what a name might be or a fake username and all that fun stuff. So you never know what could be possible in terms of that. Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly, with all that being said, am I in any danger? And is that, listen, first of all, this is from it's almost 2 years ago. So if you're, like I said, if you're paranoid, go protect your stuff. But I'm saying that the fact that one, this is older, but two, from my understanding for how this works, basically what you're going to have is that people over here are going to be like, okay, well, or I have a bot that's like, hey, let me go and see what people put on their profile. So if you go on your profile and whatever posted on there is basically what's going to be scraped from that. Because some people tend to put a lot of stuff in their profile, some people don't. Or so there might be some little bit behind, certain settings that you can see, especially if you're a public account, maybe you can see certain stuff. But for the most part, from what I understand, that is where, we are in terms of that. And so people put a scraper through all this, and then eventually it's like, okay, guess what? Now, we have some usernames, we have some phone names, we have some IDs, we have this and that. So when I say don't be too alarmed, I'm saying this from it's not like something you should be overly paranoid about, because like I said, sometimes articles are trying to get your attention. Now, like I said, if you did get emails like that, of course, be on your guard. But this is where it kind of comes from. So I can see why, maybe because people hear 17 million, you hear, oh, big number. That means it must be must be happening. But it is what it is. So yeah, that's basically from my understanding where this was found. And by the way, this was not very hard to find, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. And naturally, of course, Tor browser comes in handy for these kind of tools. You never know what you get into. Now, I briefly explained what scraping was. I explained pretty badly, to be honest. But I just want to point out exactly a bit more of a better explanation. So I have our friends here at Cloudflare, and so they asked the question, how do bots scrape content? And so let's just read it real quick. It says here, a website scraper bot will generally send a series of HTTP GET requests, then copy and save all the information that the web server sends in reply, making its way through the hierarchy of a website until it's copied all the content. More sophisticated scraper bots can use JavaScript to, for instance, fill out every form on a website in order to access, then download gated content. Browser automation programs and APIs allow automated bot interactions with websites and APIs as if they were using a traditional web browser in an attempt to trick the website servers into a human user is accessing the content. Sure, an individual could manually copy and paste an entire website instead, but bots can crawl and download all of the content on a website in a matter of seconds, even for large e-commerce websites with hundreds or thousands of individual product pages. So, what did we just learn? So say, for example, I'm going to go through an Instagram profile and I got to copy all this information that's there. What a boss is going to do is like, okay, it's there. Let me go process this real quick and get through it. How do you think, like, for instance, a new piece of hardware comes out and it's like, oh, how is this already $4,000 and it's already sold out? Literally, people will just set up accounts, wait, and then buy everything. I believe that's actually one of the big reasons why, like, scalping in, like, what's 2020? Ugh, man, that was a long time ago. Yeah, 2020 with the PS5, like, why it was genuinely, like, insane to buy one, because people literally sit around, wait for stuff to come on, and then, do that. Or if you want a more like real life example, those like Pokemon scalpers that literally buy up like a whole bunch of Pokemon cards and then basically discard the rest of them. Like, you can think of it like that, except like, instead of machines doing that, instead of people doing it. You get the point though. But anyways, you get the point. So all in all, the whole thing is that at the end of the day, these kind of scrapes are not like, they happen all the time. They literally happen all the time. So I always say, like, don't put out information that's, incriminating or puts you at risk. All that fun stuff. You know what I mean? For example, like, if they get like your username is like Boodlebacher45, I don't think there's much you can do with the username Boodlebacher. All right, it is what it is. But yeah, I believe that's about it. So this hack is like, this hack is like not what we thought it was. Now, if it was like a 2026 hack, like happened like just yesterday, it'd be a bit more alarming. But this happened in 2024, and it's like it only got posted now, or at least posted recently. So no need to be alarmed. And I said this at the beginning of the video, but I want to reiterate it again at the end. Whenever you hear about cases like these, you have to just look beyond the article instead of just reading it. Because sometimes what happens is that an article gets read and it sounds crazy and it sounds like all doom and gloom, but it's like, it's not as crazy as it sounds. You know what I mean? Like, don't stress over these kind of things, because, well, not say, don't over stress over these kind of things, just because you never know who's trying to clickbait you. Because remember, YouTubers are known for clickbaits, but articles are doing it now too. Hell, even like your Instagram reels are probably like, did you know this secret hacking trick? So it's like, yeah, people are trying to get your attention. So just be careful with that. Yeah. So as weird as, having this post and all that is, it's like, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But as I've said so many times in this video, if you really feel paranoid, hide up that two-factor authentication. Do change your password to make it 45 characters long. Do what you gotta do. Yeah. So anyways, if you enjoyed this quick video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, follow my social media below. But yeah, stay safe out there, guys. I'll see you in the next one.